I'm Addie.
And I'm Rick. And we're just kidding. I'm Addie.
I'm Rick.
And welcome back to the Right Side of Grace podcast.
I hate that so much.
Okay, I'm just kidding. That's not our intro. If any of you guys are faithful listeners, well, no, they wouldn't. I haven't talked about it. But if you're my friend, or if you've been in the vicinity of me in the past, is that the right word? Vicinity?
Vicinity, yeah.
If you've been in the vicinity of me in the past, I don't know, 2 weeks, I have found, no, it's been longer than that.
So I don't know what she's saying, but all I know is
Dad,
we share this
I'm explaining.
podcast, or we share the podcast. We have the same, they'd upload, whatever they listen to comes to my podcast. So I get this morning,
I listen on Spotify.
And for whatever reason, maybe Shelby.
It's Shelby.
Know,
because
maybe
I put her
close
on.
friends.
Maybe
I put her on.
Whatever. And all I know is I push play for my normal podcast to play because it's always the latest episode, and I push play, and I hear these girls like what is going on?
Y'all, these girls, I have never, they've been famous for a really long, well, not a really long time, for a couple years now. And they're from Georgia.
What's their name?
Kaylee and Beth Ann Bryce. And they're twins. And I never really thought they were that funny. They are 1,000% so funny. Like, I have been sleeping on them. But when they did their TikToks, I never really watched them. But they have this podcast called Welcome to Your... No, it's just called...
Podcast.
The Poodcast.
Your Poodcast.
And
P-U with the little dots above it.
Oh.
D.
Because they talk really funny. And anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was 2 minutes in. I was like,
no, you have to listen. They are the funniest. Anyway, if you're a girl, it's really for girls. If you're a girl listening and you kind of want a new podcast, I would say listen to it. It's not inappropriate.
It's absolutely all over the place.
It is so you're going to be so, yeah, but worse. It's so from out of left field. They'll come in with stuff. They do a lot of funny things. I just think it's such a funny podcast. Anyway, their intro is just like that. And I wanted my dad to do it because I found out he listened to it the other day and I thought it was funny.
Not on purpose. Accident.
Some people.
I'm sure they're very good at whatever they're doing.
They actually are so funny.
I bet they are.
And they do this segment called Bryce Advice. And sometimes their advice is a little interesting, but it's really funny. And they also say a prayer at the end of the podcast. I don't really know if I'm with that because I think it's a little bit weird. I don't think we should be praying on podcasts, but also, I don't know. Do you think we could?
Yeah, you could. I mean, the Sean DeMar for Room for Nuance. I like that podcast.
He prays?
He starts them all off.
Okay. Maybe it's just
but not everybody
being weird.
Does that.
It is a weird context. I've listened to a couple episodes. Lars over here, Bob.
Sorry.
But it's just a weird context of them being absolutely insane. Absolutely. It's unhinged.
Uh-huh. And then they go
and then
prayer.
let's pray.
And then she's like, we need to bring this all back together. And then she starts praying. But now they do prayer requests and stuff, and people really do submit some good stuff in there. Well, anyway, it's just funny. And they have people write in all the time, and it really it just makes me laugh. It's it drops every Tuesday morning. Every single Tuesday, without fail, I get in my car. That's the first thing I play. Is that podcast. And I can say their intro with them.
So was it yesterday that I heard them? Yes, right. It was yesterday.
Yeah, because I called you.
Yeah,
I called him yesterday. Okay. Now that we've finished our introduction, we will
5 minutes in.
Oh my gosh, holy crap. We'll have to hurry. Speed it up. So we're going to talk about a lot of things, but first we're going to talk about, last week we said to watch Hunting Party and Survivor, and we're going to give a little bit of what we think. Survivor. Yeah. Survivor was good. I'm glad, because I hadn't watched the last 2 episodes. Now I'm caught up. I'm glad. Say went home. Cedric, which how he got on the jury, I got confused.
Well, because he was the first.
No, I know, but still. I'm just glad. I'm so glad Say didn't get on the jury. So glad, because she's so annoying.
Yeah.
But
I didn't enjoy Say. Cedric is fine. He's really, really smart. He's a surgeon.
Yeah.
But he's really clueless too.
And he was also horrible at the challenges. He was so bad.
He was bad.
He was so bad.
It was funny.
But right now I'm thinking I want either... If you haven't watched Survivor, don't listen, I guess.
Who cares?
David went home.
David just went home this past episode. Which I told you.
I think was a bad move. On Eve's and
Yeah, Joe.
Because David and Mary are smart. They got really paranoid. But if they would have just kept their heads down and just gone and played their game, because David and Mary are the only ones that suspected that Kyle is in with the other crowd. And so now they think, oh, we still have the numbers, but Kyle's going to flip and he's going to go with.
Well, yeah, because they don't know he's with Camille.
And that's his main.
That's the problem.
That's his ally.
Yeah, so Joe and Eva are going to be.
Joe and Eva, I think Joe's going to get.
Unless something happens with one of their, hidden immunity idols that Eve has.
Because Mary's going to just go with the others. And Joe, I think, might get voted off tonight. Potential.
It could be a Joe.
Joe or. What's that guy's name?
Mitch.
No. Mitch is not getting voted off. I think he's about to take control.
You think so?
I think Mitch, Mary, Camille, Star are about to. And then Kyle's going to come in and take control over the strong 5.
That's probably true.
And that's so sad.
Yep.
Anyway, so and then hunting party.
So you were asking me last week. I remember that scene. It just didn't. I was like, yeah.
Okay.
I almost figured it had to be somebody.
I was more shocked.
I wasn't shocked by it as much as
I was more shocked to see that she was a past serial killer.
Now that was
that was a little bit crazy.
But like it low-key makes sense though, based on her reactions. There is one scene at the end of one episode, I can't remember what episode it was, but she was in the car and one of the serial killers gets put in the back of her car and either something gets taken out of her neck, they kill someone. I don't know. That gave me weird vibes.
She killed them. Or like something happened.
Something happened. It gave me weird vibes. And from that point I was
you know what? I don't
unsettled.
even think I remembered that.
You probably were asleep during it. But
passive aggressive.
I mean, you fall asleep a lot during the shows. But yeah, the ending was wild. And then the fact that we don't know what's his face is going to be alive or dead. I'm pretty sure he's dead, but what's his name?
Are they canceling it?
I'm awful at remembering names. Hassani.
That's his name in the show?
Jacob Hassani, the one that got shot.
The one that got that got the poison in the end.
It's Oliver.
He's Oliver. Oliver, that's his name.
It's Jack.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Oliver.
Do you think he's dead?
Oh, 100%.
Nah. Depends on if they renew the series.
I do like that he finally admitted
for season 2.
Because I think she's in love with the other partner.
Shane?
The guard or the CIA guy?
The CIA guy.
Hassani.
Because when she found out
that his wife was dead,
she was like, oh shoot, I thought he had a wife.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You didn't know his wife was dead?
Yes, but I didn't know she reacted that way.
Because then she was like, anyway, she doesn't love Oliver, and I think she loves Hassani, or however you say it.
I do think something happened between her and Oliver, though. I do believe that there is history. Was it confirmed?
Yeah. They were dating before.
Yeah, they were dating before he burned
before she went into the
I don't remember
before they went into the serial killer thing.
Yeah.
See, I binged it all at once, so everything
blends together.
Yeah.
Remember, he lit that guy on fire.
Yeah.
And that's why because he got in trouble, and they broke up because she got in trouble. They ended their FBI career, and now this is somehow he got to be director over that serial killer wing
because he was friends with the serial killer woman. And she trusted him. I think he knew. Anyway, all right. Well, if you didn't watch it, you should still go watch it. It's a good show.
All right.
Now we'll get into the other stuff.
Did you say who you thought was going to win for Survivor?
I literally cannot. I don't know.
You think Mitch is going to win? Right now, he's got the potential.
Mitch has the potential, but I think I like Kyle. And I wouldn't be mad if Kyle won because I think he's smart. I think he's playing the game really well.
Kyle could win this thing.
Yeah, I think he plays the game really well. And if Camille wins, I'll be upset because she annoys me.
Yeah, I don't.
She's rude. She acts she made me mad because she acted like David was this idiot, but he was actually really smart and he had figured her plan out. And then she was like, such an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, no, he literally figured out your entire.
Yeah, he's only an idiot because she's mad at him because he figured it out.
Yeah, that made me mad, but I don't really like her. Well. Anyway.
It's always funny in those shows where everybody gets mad. They get really mad at each other for trying to vote each other off. And it's always I got to play. This is why I couldn't play Survivor, because you have to lie. So I could do it. I have the ability to do it. But
You would have to lie about your occupation.
well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, you could go and be like, I'm
I-
a pastor. I don't lie.
Well, that's the whole point. Like I just wouldn't go. I would never attempt because you'd either have to play the most honest game ever and get voted out.
Well, that's what they're all trying to
at
do
some
right
point.
now in this season. They're trying to play honest games. I'm like,
Everybody says that, but nobody's completely honest.
no, they all lied to
Yeah,
David.
there's always a deception somewhere.
Anyway,
So
crazy stuff.
but that's part of the game. It's like when I play cards, I'm deceiving people. I don't want them to know what I got. But we're okay that, in the house playing cards around the table. But if you get to Survivor, somehow you have no character playing a game. But anyway, that's the way it goes. All right. That was last week. That was a little bit of the recap, and we talked about Survivor. So what are we talking about now?
I don't know.
I would like to talk about, let's skip 2 and go to 3. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Harvard thing.
Okay,
Do you remember
you chat it up. I don't know.
Well, so a couple weeks ago, we were talking about, it was in the news, Trump threatened to take all of Harvard's funds away for continuing with their DEI practices and not following the federal law when it came to how they hired professors or accepted students and that kind of thing. And also not protecting the Jewish students at their school. So Harvard fired back and was like, well, we're not doing that. We're not going to listen to you. We're not going to do what you say. So everybody was kind of rallying behind them, which is interesting. They're a private institution, right? So they should be self-funded. They have $53 billion endowment, like just basically sitting in the bank. Okay. That's what they have. They could for the next however long they wanted to, they could operate functionally just on the interest from their endowment. I don't think a student would have to pay to go to school
aren't
there.
they offering something like that?
What?
Like if you don't make a certain amount of money, you can go to Harvard for free.
Yeah, if you make less than $200,000 or something, you can go. But you still got to get into school, and they have all these.
Well, yeah, but
Yes, but what I think is, I don't think the government should tell a school what they should or shouldn't do. A private institution, I don't think they should tell them what they should teach, who they should hire, who they shouldn't hire, who they can let in their school. But if you accept federal money, then they have a say. So the best way for Harvard to just say, fine, we don't have to listen to you at all. You're right, you don't. Just don't take any federal money. There are plenty of schools that don't take any federal money at all, and they say whatever they want to say, and they can hire who they want to hire.
do Christian schools take federal?
There's a few. Well, probably most of them do take federal student grants. So yeah.
I know for a fact that Boy Switches, the undergraduate college at Southern, a friend of mine went there. They wouldn't even accept FAFSA money because they wanted to be able to say, like, well, you're not accepting any federal money because we don't want to be told what to do and who to hire.
Whoa.
So to me, that is exactly the way a private school should function. They shouldn't be having a handout for. Now, I know that Harvard gets some money from the federal government because of the research they do. And some of the research they do is really, really helpful. But they also get a lot of federal government money for stupid stuff. And they don't need any of it anyway. If you have $53 billion and they have, the wealthiest alumni in the entire world.
Yeah, they got big
they could be
donors.
funded for the rest of their existence by all those. And then they can say what they want and do what they want. And they don't need taxpayer money. In fact, because they get $9 billion of taxpayer money every single year.
Just that school alone?
$9 billion, just Harvard.
So what are I don't understand money.
So we shouldn't.
I just don't understand, how all these, what are the other colleges getting?
Not $9 billion. But, some of that goes towards the research that Harvard does for the government.
Okay.
So that's where some of the grant
sense.
money they've given and that kind of thing. So there's some of that is, now I don't know that it's worthy of the amount of money, but it is what it is.
Interesting.
But the easiest way to say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do is just don't take any federal money.
Nice.
But what Harvard's doing is you can't tell us anything and we still want your money. So that's what Harvard's really doing. They're not really trying to support themselves. So the schools that are supporting themselves, like Boyce College and other schools like that, that's that's how you should be as a private school.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all I got to say about that, really. I will say another private school, that Limestone University,
Charlie's alma mater.
my son's alma mater, they've closed the doors like today, I think, right? Was today the last day?
I have no idea.
I think so.
So I even heard like the lacrosse team can't play anymore. Like they won't fund any of their travel or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
And their lacrosse team is legit.
well, they're number two
in the country.
Yeah.
They were going to the tournament and they're not allowed to anymore.
So now they can't even go to the tournament. They're number 2 in the country. This is like, you remember Birmingham Southern? Like, was it last year in the World Series or 2 years ago?
It was last year in the World Series.
Last year in the College World Series, their school closed the doors, but they ended up going far and kept going. And I guess somehow it got privately funded to continue. But I guess nobody's going to be able to fund the lacrosse team or something.
That stinks.
It is kind of sad. And I guess the baseball team is probably still playing at this point.
I mean, I'm sure they're done if the lacrosse team's done.
It's almost conference tournament time.
Yeah.
So
I think they can play the SAC conference.
But not outside
but
of
they
the SAC.
cannot, no
and
matter if they win
that's
it or
a
not.
hike though for them, because that's played in Carson Newman or up in Tennessee, and so that's a hike for them to get up there.
For the baseball or for the...
Yeah. SAC baseball tournament is always held
So-
at Jiffy Stadium, which is near Carson Newman.
Yeah. So the lacrosse team can play the SAC tournament. I don't know if the baseball team can.
They might not have made it.
They may not. That's true. That's true.
Go Dogs.
I don't think they have. Come on. She got the Wing It alumni back there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyway, you know what I think a college should do? I think a college like Liberty University or like South Carolina, University of South Carolina, a big school with a lot of money and resources should buy Limestone. And they should turn it into a JUCO. Because here's why. This is what I think you should do. The JUCO no longer counts against your eligibility for athletes anymore. So the 2 years of JUCO, if you go to D1, it doesn't count. You can still go four years of D1. Remember?
I heard it was a case-by-case basis because someone tried to apply for the same thing and they got denied.
Well, I think you have to go D1, and it's Pavia, what's his name, that was the Vanderbilt quarterback. So he got his years erased or his eligibility back, so he can keep playing football. But if you could do that in JUCO and you don't lose your eligibility, a school should buy that, turn it into like a farm club, basically a minor league. They could even put coaches there.
USC Gaffney.
And then they call them up.
Honestly, seriously. They're like, hey, you've had a really good year. You're running our system, our offense, our defense, whatever it is on basketball. I mean, that was what all Limestone had, 27 sports or something like that? They had all kinds of sports.
It was like 80% athletes.
Yeah. So if that's still the case, the way I understood it, where the eligibility of the junior college graduates doesn't count, then that's what I would do. Basically turn it into a minor league club to feed my D1 program.
I mean, that is kind of smart.
That's the way I would do it.
But only if whatever you said is true.
Well, I know they sued the NCAA, and that was what was going around. That was the way the rule was understood.
Then why wouldn't anyone go play JUCO first and just get good?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Well, they should, because right now,
all those kids, yeah.
all the D1, they're going straight to transfer portal.
Right. And they're
not even giving high school kids scholarships anymore. Or you would get Atlanta, just the Atlanta area in football would get like over 250 D1 scholarships to high school kids out of just Georgia and the Atlanta area. Well, now this like 10 are going out of that. And then they have to be really, really, really good to go D1.
Crazy.
So it's, the high school athlete is the one that's suffering. So they should at least give them something.
Yeah. It's good to do.
Or make, the transfer portal's got to be somewhat fixed anyway. But, I told you my theory last week. I think the NCAA allowed all this craziness so they can come back and take control and make all the money for themselves. It's my opinion. But we'll see.
I would agree.
So that's what I think colleges should do.
That's smart, actually. I like that idea.
All right. What else we got? Trump's first 100 days.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. His speech.
What speech did you see?
I don't know. Mom had it on the TV. I didn't watch it.
He can stir up a crowd, man. I don't think there's anybody. There's never been anybody in my lifetime that I remember, politically speaking, that can stir up a crowd like he can.
He did say something that I thought was kind of interesting, and it was talking about how before he was in office, all the like nobody wanted to join the army, nobody wanted to be a police officer, nobody wanted to serve their country, and since he's been in office, it's like booming, and everybody wants. And he's like, he said like America has spirit again. Like there's a reason to be like honoring. It's an honor to serve your country, and it's an honor to be a police officer or a firefighter, or like all these things. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Well, now he has the military recruitment is up.
Yeah.
Significantly, which has been down for.
Which I know that this is not like related, but I do feel like there's so many people in my life right now that are joining the police force. Like I just feel like I'm hearing a lot.
I do know what the numbers are for the military. Like every branch is up, like significantly. I don't know what the police officers. I imagine it's up. There's a lot of incentives there too, but
you don't have to have your college degree, right?
No.
Should I enter
for police?
Should I enter the police force
or military? No. Just kidding. Yeah, you should do it.
No, I could never.
You have the attitude for it.
That's rude.
What do you mean?
That's not very nice.
I didn't mean it negative.
I do think I could. Like, I want to be in the FBI really bad.
Tough. You should totally be the FBI.
You know that accounting is the quickest way to get in it?
I think, though, if you're going to FBI through accounting, I think they like CPAs.
What the? No.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to take my CPA. Don't make me. I'm not doing it.
How much is
FBI.
It's $1,200.
$1,200, and then what don't you have to take? Like the curriculum, there's a pretty expensive.
So, well, if you're working for a big company,
yeah, they'll pay for it.
They pay for all of it. So it's like really not like the cost of it and all that is not really that big of a deal. But once you get it, you have to have.
What's the percentage pass rate on that?
Oh, it's low. First time, it's low.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the hardest tests.
I can imagine.
Like I think it's up there with the bar exam.
I imagine so. It's
50%.
50?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
50% pass rate in the first time?
This just says the overall pass rate for the CPA exam is around 50%.
Some people never pass that thing.
How many times are you allowed to take it?
It's in an allotted amount of months, I think. I don't know.
Are you allowed to take it more than 3?
So I actually do not know the answer to that. I don't know. So there's 4 parts. So you have to pass 1, 2, 3, 4. And they always say to start with your hardest. So you can get a sense and then go from there.
This says unlimited retakes. However, you must pass all sections within 18 to 30 months after passing the first section based on what state you're in.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you pass your first one however many times it takes, and then you have, depending on what state you're in, 18 to 30 months to pass the other.
Yeah, so between a year and a half and
to almost 3 years.
So they say that it takes, I want to say 100 or something hours per section to study. So they tell you like, that's why they tell you to go like to grad school and stuff. So you have time to study. It is very prestigious to get. So just not for me.
Well, who knows? We'll see what the Lord brings. You never know.
I know.
All right, what else? 100 days, border. Big deal on the border.
I don't know.
It was down the percentage that they said. I listened to it this morning, and I think it's a Washington Post poll. Anyway, the number's from not a conservative publishment. It's like 99%. 99, like 0.9. It's like 3 people crossed the border last, week or something like that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like insanely, ridiculously low. So that's working. Now we got to get the tariff thing all squared away. Who knows what's going to happen there? A lot of people saying there's a lot of countries trying to work deals out. What he's trying to do is isolate China so that China is like we're bypassing China and no longer trading with China.
So no longer made in China?
No, they'll be made in China. We'll have a partnership with them. I
I'm just
don't know. Who knows what it'll look like? I mean, eventually, we're the ones buying from China, so we're the biggest customer. So they need us.
I like getting stuff when it says made in America. Okay, never mind.
I'll be honest though, the hard thing is Americans, how can I say it in a nice way, are notoriously slower than the Chinese when it comes to production. However, if it was a higher demand, we might be faster. So
They're getting paid more, probably. You never know.
I don't know. We'll find out. I do think he's reshaping the trade world, which he's been trying to do that since the 80s. He came after Ronald Reagan about it. So when I was alive, or when I was younger, I was alive. When I was younger.
He's actually a ghost sitting there. He's been dead for 2 years.
Maybe we should cut that one. Anyway, so there's some stuff out there that, maybe I just think that there's so much animosity. You can't, so much animosity between somebody who doesn't like Trump and somebody who does like Trump, and you just don't have anybody that's got a middle ground of sensibility. Like, hey, he's done some really good things. Hey, he's done some things that I don't like, and be okay to disagree with some people. It's all right. He's not
God.
There's people that like to call him Hitler, and I'm like,
oh dear,
I don't understand.
I would not
why you want to call somebody
that
Hitler,
because
he's not.
No,
they like to throw around words, but it's just, you should be careful. We've always said this: you shouldn't accept everything that somebody does just because you were a fan at one time. I don't like everything Trump does. I'm not a red hat wearing Trumper that flies flags and does all that stuff. I just think we should be civil and should be able to applaud good common sense decisions. We love when they're making laws to protect women's sports, abortion. We do not like abortion, so whatever we do to stop all the transgender stuff, we don't.
Hormone stuff
for kids. Now, if you're a grown adult, if you want to do something dumb like that, go ahead, but don't force me to to now call you, and I have to call you by your pronouns, and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's helpful at all. Yeah. So there's some sensibility. We want people to get hired because they're the best people at their job. We want no matter what, gender, race, whatever. So there's some things that I appreciate. There's some things that maybe I don't appreciate as much. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think they've been bad days. I think they've been a good 100 days. I've not been scared to death where the world's going to fall apart. I do understand that, and really nobody's felt the tariffs yet. Well, people say I have.
You
but
will
really,
if you're trying to buy a car.
They really haven't yet, because
not that I am
what happened, most of the people, Amazon even came on and said most of the people they have bought already. They kind of bought in stock and kind of, got their warehouses a little bit stocked. So they got most of that. We'll feel it soon. We'll really feel it soon. Some people are pretend feeling it. People are maybe raising prices in anticipation of it, but we'll really feel it soon. But in the next 90 days, we may have 75 new trade deals with countries all over the world. And so we might be able to bypass China altogether, and they'll feel it real bad. So anyway, that's all I got politically. I know you're tired of that.
Boring. No, I'm just kidding. It's good information that people need to be hearing, because I don't know it. I'm learning as I'm sitting in the seat with you guys, probably. Maybe not.
There you go. All right, let's talk about the draft, the NFL draft. We did have the WNBA draft. Did we talk about that at all?
No, I mean, it was whatever.
Yeah. It lasted, 20 minutes or something like that?
No, it was pretty long.
It
Well, they
was,
picked
it was in one night.
It wasn't like 8 days like the stupid NFL, but
3.
like I don't understand like the whole like I get it's tradition to like, do the whole like pick and everything, but I think after like top 20, like just
Well,
That's
they
not
did.
even all the teams, Addie.
I know, but
Let all the teams get their first pick.
okay,
Yeah.
after all the teams get first, okay, I'll say they get 2 picks that are televised and then to cut it off.
At least it's not the MLB draft. The MLB draft used to be like 30 to 40 rounds. There was no end.
Yeah. Do they televise the MLB?
They televise the first round or 2, and then it goes to just because the last couple dozens of rounds are like just like, hey, pick up this guy so we can say that he got drafted. But like during COVID, it got cut down to like 15 to 20.
Yeah, there's some people in the late rounds that get drafted that never
say
see a ball club ever.
I will say I've always wanted to be in the videos or like whenever they like flash on they're like the home and it's like them getting the call and their whole family's there. I think that's so funny.
Let's find you a football husband, Addie.
I'm not opposed. I'm just kidding.
Did she say what she's saying is she's available?
No, I'm not saying that.
Slide in her DMs.
All right.
So I would say now when I was younger, they didn't have the hoopla and all the pomp and circumstance with the draft they do now. It's all excuse me. It's a whole lot bigger now than it was.
Yeah.
Like it was just reported on the TV or you could hear on the radio or whatever. It wasn't like this huge deal. Or you'd see the first round and that's all you would see would be the first round. You wouldn't see the craziness that you have now, like Shador Sanders building a room and calling it legendary. He had to pay for that room 3 days in a row because he didn't get drafted.
That's the craziest thing to me, and I didn't really know.
He will make way less money in the NFL than he did in college.
There's Quinn Ewers is the same way.
Yeah, but
They
it
all
wasn't
are.
a quarterback heavy draft this year as far as what the teams needed.
But the Tennessee Titans, who did they get that guy? What's his name? The guy from. They were the first round pick. They had the
Cam
first.
Ward?
Yeah. What's
Was
his
it the
name?
Titans that got him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look it up. I know that for a fact.
Okay. So
What's his
I
name
don't
though?
remember.
I forgot.
Cam Ward.
It's Cam Ward.
Yeah, and Cam, is he the guy that was wearing the suit, like really plain suit, and he like seemed like very, like it was funny because somebody was saying how like the first round pick, like he was so like just grateful and he wasn't putting on a show, like he was just accepting it, and he was like he knew like, okay, I'm going to this team, I want to do good, I just want to play my sport. Like it wasn't this huge like, oh look at me show, like it was just, this is what I'm here to do. Like, I'm here to play football. And I think Shador was like, I'm here to have a party for myself. And then he didn't get drafted to what?
Well, I mean, he was the 5th round with the Cleveland Browns, and they have 5 quarterbacks. They have Deshaun Watson. They got Joe Flacco. They got the Dylan Gabriel from Oregon, who they drafted like first round or second round. Then they drafted that another kid. Like 5 picks before they got Shador. So they have 5 quarterbacks.
NFL is just weird to me, like the...
Who had Kenny Pickett?
Oh, Kenny Pickett.
Oh.
That's right.
I don't know.
Maybe Dylan Gabriel was picked shortly before Shador. Kenny Pickett's already been on
Yeah, Kenny Pickett was the first round.
a couple years ago.
Not Kenny, sorry, Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel first
He
round.
was this year.
There was another quarterback, though, they picked right before Shador.
Well, I don't really feel bad for Shador at all.
They have the problem they're going to have. Like, so if somebody's getting cut out of that room.
What do you mean?
Somebody's not making the 53-man roster.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to be a practice player or they're
free agent.
They're a free agent.
Which,
And he's not going to sign for money. So he'll probably make $800,000, $750,000 for the season.
to be a practice player?
No, to be, I mean, like Brock Purdy made $900,000 last year, or is making $900 this year.
His rookie contract, I think, has 1 or 2 years left. So yeah.
Yeah. And he's like like one of the best quarterbacks or starting quarterback.
Mr. Irrelevant.
He was Mr. You know what Mr. Irrelevant
The last pick in the draft. If Shador.
I am so. Well, Shador was not Mr. Irrelevant.
I know, but
that would have been
I
funny.
always thought that my Aunt Kelly, she always wanted Charlie to be a practice player because she was like, it's the best job. Like, you would get paid. And anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you get paid pretty good. It's not a lot of money, but it's decent.
The only bad thing is you're a free agent, so you can just get picked up, thrown around by any
Think
team.
about football. Football's like none of that money is guaranteed. You have to be there and earn your money. Like baseball and basketball.
You sign that contract.
That contract's guaranteed money. Hurt, whatever, you're bad, you're good, whatever, it's guaranteed money. Football,
cutthroat.
You're cut. Like, hey, you didn't play very good, so we're done. And your contract's no longer valid. So it's definitely a cutthroat business. Shador's going to learn some lessons. I think he
it could be good for him.
A lesson about humility. Because I mean, this is the scripture. Like, you don't go to a party, right, and sit in the best chair. The Bible talks about this. We don't go and sit at the chair that is the head of the table. You sit at another chair and get promoted. Because if you sit at the head of the table and they ask you to move, that's humiliating.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what Shador did.
Yeah. And what's going to stink for him is when he goes into everyone's going to look at him as a joke. Like, he's lost all credibility because of the way he acted. Not credibility in the sense of his game, but I'm like his persona and how he acts, and like he thinks he's this big player, and he got knocked down a few pegs, which is good, but that's only going to happen. Like, it's the same way when you graduate high school and you go from being the top athlete in your high school and everyone being like, oh wow, like you're so good at your sport, and then you go to college and you got 15 other kids that are the exact same way as you, and then you're like, now I really have to find myself. And then it's just the same way if you continue on to the next league. Like, you're just always going to have, but I think going into it with the knowledge of every single kid out here has put in the exact same amount of work. I mean, not the exact same, but like also has put in work to be here. And so it's not like I'm going in top.
Yeah. I just think there's like this culture that professional sports has created. Even now with the whole NIL deals in the colleges, it's created these people who, and they got all these people around them that surround them that talk about, you need to go get your money, you get paid what you're worth, you're valuable, you're the best. And they got all these people speaking to them and pumping them up and telling them they need to go get theirs and they're worth all this money. And it's just, we're creating monsters. We're not creating humble, hardworking people. These people don't love football. They love themselves. They don't love the sport that they're playing. They love getting the money and getting played and getting paid to play it. And they get the recognition in college. They love that. But they're not grinding like these guys used to grind. And, when a lot of these guys are in college, they're scrambling to get, pooling money and say, can we get pizza and wings tonight, Now the rest they're not.
They're buying
not
like
struggling at all. They're getting
$300,000 car. Yeah. Something stupid.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
So they're not grinding. They're not humble. They're not hardworking. Not all of them. Okay. There's some of them that are just as hardworking because they understand it, but regardless of the money, because they actually do care about the game. But it's not about, they're not humble people who are trying to play for the Lord. Even the ones that are like promoting Christianity, you got to feel sometimes, is it really genuine? And I'm not trying to question their heart, but you do kind of wonder because you feel like you're getting mixed signals. You're getting like this, I love Jesus and I'm playing for Jesus, but I need to get paid and I got to get my.
Or let me tell you,
I'm out of here. And it's just like, I don't know that those two things go together well.
Yeah. I think it's important to know like that your sport or like whatever you're doing in life and something that you feel prideful in is not who you are. Like, you're not Ric Blazi, the adult discipleship college whatever pastor you are. Mm-hmm. Like, you're just Ric Blazi. Like, you're not, or if you're like Charlie, for example, like he wasn't Charlie the football player, like he was just Charlie. And you always told him that. But I think it's important for like all of us to know, like, you're just yourself. Like, it doesn't matter like how good you are or whatever. Like, don't ever, I don't ever want to go into a situation and make the people around me be like, man, that girl, she's really full of herself. Like, I don't want to ever be like that. And so I think I try and I don't want to also be like, pick me. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, I'm just not good enough. Like, it's just like, shut up. Like, just don't say anything. And I think like just being humble is such, I don't know, I think it's a great quality in somebody.
Yeah.
And being able to know, like, I'm humble because, like, how do I say?
Well, I think you said it. You got to know who you are.
Yeah.
So what I would say to Charlie and you and even Jesse, like, you're not the football player or the lacrosse or whatever you're in. Or you're addieblazi, child of the King. That's your identity. You're a child of the King. You're Christian. All of your identity must come from Christ and how you serve and worship and get in line with Him.
Yeah.
And then everything else is surrounding that identity. So you are child of the King that actually plays a sport or that teaches a class or that works this job or does this activity.
Or takes pictures.
Or whatever it is that you do, it surrounds the truth and the fact that you are a child of the King and your purpose is to bring glory to the Lord.
Yeah.
And so whatever job you do, that's what Colossians says, whatever you do, you work heartily to the Lord, not to man, you work for the Lord. You know, because that's who our allegiance is to the Lord. We should serve Him. I'm not trying to please man, and I'm trying to please the Lord.
Yeah.
And if I work that way, my work will be good.
Mm.
You know, there's this like thin line where like you're trying to we talk about pride. You can take some pride in the work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to work hard because I want to work hard and honor the Lord, the talents He's given me, the opportunities He's given me. I want to do that because I want to work heartily for the Lord. I want to serve in such a way that it is glorifying to Christ. That's what I want to do. And so you can do that and you can take pride in that, but pride in yourself has to be killed. You have to kill that all the time. You know, it's a constant thing. Oh, I'm smarter than you. I'm better than you. You know, it starts to creep up in all your hearts. You look at something and say, well, I could probably do that better than that person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it that way.
You're always going to think it. Like, every time I'm in any situation, I'm like, oh, I could be doing that or something. And then you're like, no.
Yeah, you have to fight that. That's something that's prideful and welling up inside of you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Brandy Hamilton sent a couple of messages for questions. You see those questions there?
Yeah. All right. The first one is, what were your most favorite memories from any past youth church retreats?
Oh, this is for me too, or just you?
Yeah, no, you.
Oh, gosh.
So Brandy Hamilton.
I don't know. Like from Praise Mill?
Well, yeah, or whatever retreat. Best memory from any church retreats.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. There's like, I don't even know how to. You go first. I feel like you definitely know yours.
I don't know if I definitely know. I love when students come to know Christ. I love when you get woken up real early in the morning, like 2 a.m. and you got like some student that's struggling with something, or they've been dealing. They've been
You're
dealing
gonna
with
say play a prank. I'm over here smiling.
No, there's.
But that is
pranks,
cool too. Yeah.
There's been some pranks played. Oh, let me tell you this one. This is a funny one. So Claudia Hester, we went to Savannah on a mission trip. So Claudia Hester, Macy, Brooke, that whole Caitlin Golden, like a whole bunch of those.
Yeah.
I can't remember everybody that was there. Not Caitlin Golden now, Caitlin Foster. And I think all their names are changed now. But anyway, that whole group was down there, and we were going swimming, and I heard they were going to play a prank on me. So they were going to play a prank on me and play fight, get in trouble with each other, and then They're like, oh, we got you, Brother Rick. So I said, all right. So I figured out what was going on. And I think maybe Garrett was there or Josh. And I told him, I said, look, I told the people that owned the house, I said, when these people, they're trying to play a prank on me, when they try this prank, I'm just gonna like throw my hands up and say, I quit. I hate this ministry. And I'm getting in the bus and I'm leaving. And I'm just gonna take off and leave everybody there. So I was gonna do that whole thing. And so I gave this big speech right before the swimming party that I typically do. I may have poured it on a little bit harder than normal. And I scared them so bad in the speech prior to like the pool day that they backed out of their fight. I was so disappointed.
So they never did it?
They never did it. And they were like, so we're leaving. I was like, when are y'all going to fight? You know? And they were like, what? And so I told them what I was planning on doing. And they were disappointed that they didn't do it because they thought that would have been funny. But that would have been a funny memory.
I think that, well, just because it's like, it was so recent that I think about it. But last summer when we were at camp, when we played that Foursquare game in the rain.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the funnest things. Like, I don't know, it was just like all the kids just wanted to be there. And I love playing games. Like, I just love playing games. I think they're fun. And so just like, it made it so fun. And like, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. It was
called Tri-Ball, and it started, you have to...
Yeah, you just like hit a ball up in the air.
It's volleyball.
But you're with your whole team. Yeah. And it was just really cool, and it was fun.
There's like a small ball, big ball. And,
giant ball.
Yeah. Bunch of stuff. It's really cool.
It's a really fun game. But it started, like when I say pouring down rain, I mean torrential downpour, like monsoon level rain.
But it was...
And it was...
so much fun.
Yeah, that was great. It was a good time. It was like so fun. One of those epic moments.
It was so fun. I really liked it.
I don't know. I have so many memories of retreats. We played these games, like we called it Mud Pit. We have 2 inner tubes at the end, and you have to take one ball and get it into the inner tube. And so like just a pit of mud where these kids are just covered from head to toe in Georgia red clay dirt.
I don't think I ever played that game.
You did not, because we quit playing it after that. But
those are the best youth group games, though, when you stop playing them because people get hurt.
Yeah.
Or they're just too dirty. Like, it wasn't even hurt. It was just like, I mean, they ruined clothes. They were so muddy that they had to just, burn the clothes. They just weren't good anymore.
Burn the clothes? They probably didn't do that.
Yeah. But they were useless. So much of that.
Good question.
All right, next one. Same one from Brandy. What are some of the most meaningful pieces of advice you've ever received?
I feel like we've answered that.
Yeah, I think we have answered that.
Anything new advice that you are different?
I don't know.
Maybe with school or an advice that you would give yourself?
No. Well, I think advice I'd give myself. What advice I give myself? I don't know why. I don't know.
I think probably some good advice that I've been given is, so there was this guy that came to our church. He was an evangelist, and somebody asked him, "Hey, what can I pray for you about?" Like, so this guy was a famous preacher, and somebody in the crowd was like, "What can we pray for you? How can I pray for you?" And he said, "Pray these 2 things. Whenever somebody asks me this question, I always say this: keep me close to the Lord and keep me clean in my life." And so those are the 2 things that this guy asked the audience to pray for his life. And I was like, that's actually pretty good. And so I kind of kept that. And so when people ask, how can I pray for you? I say close and clean. And keep me close and keep me clean. So those are, I think, 2 good things.
That is good. It's better than anything I could think of. I don't know.
No.
I'm not really. I think just enjoy your life. Like, I don't know. I think we all get so worked up about everything, and we're all so consumed with like what we look like or what people think of us or who like we're friends with or whatever it is. And I just think we should just enjoy our life and know that like it's already planned, so we don't need to worry about it all.
Yeah, don't hold on to grudges. Like, move forward.
Yeah. I think just be happy. And what's that thing? What's that saying where it's like enjoy the Lord and
what is it?
what is it?
Westminster.
Yeah, what is it?
the number one question is, what is the chief end of man?
Yeah, you literally said it last week. I've been thinking about that ever since you said it.
To enjoy God, to glorify God and enjoy Him forever.
Yeah, I forgot. I've been thinking about that since you said it. Anyway.
So that's the purpose of man. That's
chief end of man.
What
Enjoy
we're supposed
God.
to do.
Yeah.
But I think, you forget that enjoyment part. Like he does, there's so many good things out there in the world that we can experience. So
I think just enjoy your life.
There you go. Enjoy the world the Lord has given us.
Yeah.
In the way that the Lord wants us to, not
the way we want to. Yeah.
Well, just don't misuse things.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Me too.
What do you think next week?
I don't know.
The WNBA starts
games. Come and listen. The WNBA does not start next week.
No, it's like 2 weeks away.
I want to say it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks away?
Yeah.
All right, well, it's getting close.
I could be wrong. Actually, I don't know. Well,
They're getting close. They're getting close to starting.
Well, you'll have to come back for next week to see what we talk about.
All right, let's go watch some Survivor.
Okay. Bye. I forget what handshake.